This is our products and services BizCORE expanded add-on. I know that's a mouthful, but this essentially is an add-on for either our products BizCORE or our services BizCORE that does a number of different things. First off, it'll take a services BizCORE and add products to it. And conversely, it'll take a products BizCORE and add services to it. Then it will combine both of those operations into one set of reports and the other plugins that you'd have seen in the products BizCORE and the services BizCORE. So this combines everything together. You still have the granularity of the services core. It's just in here, but it's the same as what you had in the services BizCORE, and then also the services marketing. But it also comes with a whole series of additional service business models. This original services and labor, this is really designed for one technician or one service person to provide services to a particular customer. One area in services that can be considerably different is when you're running service crews, where it's more than one person in that crew providing a service. And so this is designed to model just that type of a situation. So you'll pick what's in each crew. What are the operating hours? You've seen this before. The repair parts assumptions associated with any services that they're going to provide, and then a quick work crew summary of how many people you have in each crew. Then this is going to look very familiar. This is very similar to the services programming in the services BizCORE that you go through and you're going to program all your costs. And then it's going to create its own set of deep data. Just like it did in the services BizCORE. You're going to see a lot of NAs and divos just because this is not completely hooked into anything, but it's all very similar. So you're going to create all your deep data here that you're going to be able to pull up into your various reports. Another type of service that can be provided is in a classroom setting. This is where you have one trainer teaching a whole bunch of people all at once. And so very similar to the other programming tools, this is going to go through and program out your classes and your class types and your instructors and all the costs associated with all of them, ties into your working hours. And so this will also create deep data that goes into your combined, just for services. Now you don't have to add products. You can just add a whole bunch of different service types. And conversely, with the products, you don't have to add services. It's just there if you need it. Another type of model is just other types of services for ones that don't really fit into a particular service model. We can create whatever is needed to model it out. This just happened to be for a cold storage facility where the services really didn't follow any kind of a pattern, and there were quite a few different types of steps. So this could be used as sort of a catch-all to describe and model out other types of services. Another thing that can happen if you're in a brick and mortar type service business, you could have rental studios that you either rent out to someone on a month-to-month or monthly basis, but you could also have a studio that you rent out on a daily basis to different third parties that come into your facility and provide services to your members or customers or whatever your main business happens to be. And it could just be a straight rental income, or you could be offering their services at a discount that they provide to you, or services could be provided and you just get a share of the revenue from that tenant. Whatever that happens to be, it gets modeled out down below here and then gets combined up into your combined. One other service model is rental studios, like in a hair salon. They might have 20 different booths there and they rent them out to different individuals. Or these could be just individual studios of different sizes. And again, you can have a number of these and it all flows either where you're just doing a rent, you're getting a discount on the services, or you're getting a share of the revenue, gets modeled out on a monthly basis and flows into the combined. So that's sort of expanding a service business into many different kinds of services. If you have something that doesn't quite fit any of these, we can certainly design whatever you need. I don't know what that could be, but we'll figure it out together. On the product side, you'll have all the same similar things that you saw in the products BizCORE. However, when you get into products, you could have a lot of products. So in the products and services BizCORE expanded add-on, this is our approach on products. We get very, very granular on products. I use this as an example because this was done for farming. And modeling out a farming business is probably the most difficult business to model that there is out there. Because not only do you have literally hundreds of different products, but you have all kinds of components that go into those products. You have a different processing period for each of those products, different retail pricing, different wholesale pricing based on the packaging that you're doing. So you can get very, very granular with this approach. For other types of materials that go into your products, there's all different ways of modeling this out. But what we do here for the fairly complex products is we also have a product analysis plugin. This basically is a drop down from your product list that we just took a look at, that you can select up to 10 different products, and then down here in each of these, so let's say we picked something different. We picked Mizuna Chinese cabbage. It automatically comes into here into analysis number 1, and this particular analysis, which is all of this, analyzes this one product with all of the materials that go into it, the labor that goes into it, purchasing items at different quantities to get different cost breaks, and it'll do a complete analysis on that particular product and give you a summary up here so you can compare it to other products. You could even use this where you want to run the same thing, run the Mizuna again. That'll now drop into the second analysis, and you could set this up with different quantities, different time frames, different products being added into it, and it'll all summarize and come up here so you can compare 2 different ways of providing the same product, or you could do it 10 different ways on one product. So this is a very dynamic product analysis worksheet that was designed originally for farming, just because it's so complex. So this will cover just about any type of product analysis that you'd want to do. Then after the all those products and services add-ons, we have some add-ons that can get added to either products and or services. Here's just breaking down process steps to get a little more granular. Like in farming, there's a lot of different steps. You'll do the same steps on sequential or over several days, and then it'll change to a different process after a certain amount of time. So this can really model out some very complex processes. We've also got other ways for the revenue and expense or income and expense projection. This one just happens to take revenue and break it all down by different revenues under each of those revenue categories. And then here are the direct expenses broken down. And you're still going to come up with this you're still going to come up with your gross operating income that you then apply your general and administrative to. Another format for summaries and charts. We can add charts, whatever you'd like to see there. Typically, they'll wind up going into your presentation decks and business plan and funding requests. And this here is just a similar startup summary. You can put anything in here you want. And then this gives you a financial summary, then your revenue and expenses, and this can actually roll up your balance sheet. Now, balance sheets are notoriously difficult. Talk to any accountant out there, and they've got them down pat. But in a forecasting situation, this just gets pretty critical in here. So might do a little bit of hand massaging in this area if this is what you'd like to reflect. Then also your financial ratios would show up down here. We can program in anything that you'd like to see here. Another way of looking at your labor, this is to run different scenarios based on how many days of the week you're open, Monday through Friday versus Saturday and Sunday, and it'll tie in to both your products and your services to give you how many hours, service hours, you're projecting on any given day during the week or on the weekends. This can be really useful for determining resource requirements, labor shortages, projecting labor requirements, especially in today's world where labor is becoming quite the moving target between increasing rates, reliability, and it's just labor has to be really looked at very closely and projected as much as you can into the future so that you don't get caught short. Another worksheet here is facility sizing. If you're going to start getting into a lot of services and a lot of products, you really want to model out your facility to make sure that you've got enough in each area, whether it's storage, whether it's production areas, so that you don't rent a place that's too big or too small. And then also it ties in with some of your labor operations to determine how big your facility needs to be. And then one final piece here that's been very effective over the years is it may come down in your capital expenditures or your startup budget where you need to buy some equipment. And some of this equipment can be pretty expensive. As you can see right here, this was just modeling out whole body cryogenic machines, electric versus nitrogen. And so there was a comparison done and a determination made, which one was the better one to go with, all things considered. So this can be done for any type of equipment where you have a couple of alternatives to take into account not only what it costs you to purchase it, but what are the operating costs associated with it. And so you can really do a detailed analysis on which one to buy, which one is better to your bottom line. So this is a add-on that goes to either a products or services BizCORE and turns it into both, and then adds in all those other different types of business forecasting tools. So hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.